Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. I don't have a huge amount to talk about this week because I'm recording much earlier than I would normally do because the next few days are going to be quite busy. My nephew has his presentation ball on Friday night, so I'll be in getting all ready for that, and we're staying in the city that night so that by the time this goes live, that will have all happened, but I won't have had time to record on my normal day, which is normally on Friday afternoons. So because it's a bit less maybe to talk about, but I did have the land care group come out this week. I had a few people from the committee come out. They had a look at the dam planting that was done a couple of years ago and talked about maybe filling that out a little bit with some additional trees where some of them have died and adding a little bit more on the bank where we've done a little bit of work. We then also looked at a different spot on the other side of the creek. They've got quite a few schools who are wanting to do plantings, and that would be the perfect place for them to be able to do that because there is a stack of area that we need to plant trees. It's a cleared spot on the other side that we are not using for like hay or a paddock. It doesn't even have a fence, so we can't really use it that way. But my pa used to use it, and that's why it's cleared. Gradually, wattle trees and gum trees are starting to grow, but in order to keep some of the weeds away, it would be great if we could get some established areas of shrubs in, and then that can help to spread and make it better across the board. So get rid of all of the grass. So they are going to now create a list of native plants especially indigenous to this area, and plan out how to stagger the planting so that there is middle, low, and high carriage throughout the planting areas, and then engage some schools to come and do some of that. So probably nothing to see for a while yet. It probably won't be September or so until the actual planting takes place, but it's something exciting to look forward to. Near the start of winter, I had thought that we may not get a lot of mushrooms, and I haven't seen many like field mushrooms, but we've actually got quite a lot of pine mushrooms growing up near the pine tree near the top of our driveway, which I haven't seen for a really long time, but now there's quite a few there, and it looks really cool. First to what I am wearing this week, this is the True Stripes jumper from the 52 weeks of Easy Knits. I think it's from Easy Knits book, or it could be from 52 weeks of sweaters. The details will be below and you can check that out. I made this using, this is the Knitting Man recommends in Old Miller Green. The yellow and orange is by Fluff and Nonsense, and it was called Daiquiri. The cream was from Bendigo Woolen Mills, and the green and the purpley pink is from Colleen's Crafts. It was easy to knit because you could keep track of your rows just by the stripe sequence, which I really love. It is a really comfortable drop shoulder. It was knit in pieces and from the bottom up, which I don't tend to like to do, but I just followed the pattern. It is a little oversized, but I really don't mind. It means that I can really pull my sleeves down and be quite snuggly in this one. And on a winter's day like today, and I'm recording late in the afternoon today, so it's quite cool. It's actually not bad to be over here in the shed when I have this on. I told you last week that I would have a finished object, and I do. I have finished my socks. These are by Heather Made, the yarn. It is a DK self-striping in the pastel rainbow lollipop colorway, and I used a contrasting black heel toe and just a rolled cuff. They are super long, and my plan is that I will wear these in gumboots. So I'm quite excited to have them finished now because it's perfect warm sock gumboot weather. I just need to weave in and trim the ends, which I will do, and then they will probably go straight on to my feet. So having finished these, I was a little inspired to go back to knitting on some socks, which I hadn't been doing for a while until I picked up the mitts, which is kind of socks, basically the same thing, just knitting around in a tube, and then back on these. So I have noticed that, and something that you don't notice over summer is that all of my bed socks had holes in them. So I need to make myself a couple of more pairs of bed socks so that when I get out in the middle of the night and step on the cold tile floor in the bathroom, my feet don't get cold. So I'm using Zilana Cozy in the berry bramble colorway. I think I have 3 or 4 of these balls, so I'll be able to make myself a couple of pairs. And I have made a lot of progress in a week. So I've cast on and done almost all of the foot. I've got about 5 or 6 centimeters maybe left to knit on the foot. So I have been doing this in the evenings when the cats have sat on my other knitting. I pull this out so that I can still continue to knit. It's coming up really nice pattern. This Zilana Cozy is a 58% merino, 22% nylon, 15% possum, and 5% baby alpaca. So it's beautifully soft and really warm without being too thick. And I really enjoy this for my bed socks. The only other knitting that I have done is more work on my EXP by Sana and Co. I wound the next 2 balls. I haven't quite finished the body. I've still got little small balls attached to the body. I tried it on and the length is actually looking pretty good, longer than I thought it would be. But what I've done is put the body on hold and I've started to work on the first sleeve. And I think I have one more decrease left to do and then knit a bit more length and then some ribbing. I'm going to look at the project pictures and decide how long I want to make the sleeves on my arms, as well as obviously try it on before I bind off. As you can see now, this is the sleeve part, and this raglan part is on holder at the moment, and I just need to graft that together. If I turn it the other way in, you'll be able to see it a lot better because it's quite graphic from the other side. So I'm going to twist all my needles around a little bit. Okay, there we go. So you can see there's my sleeve, and then this section here, oops, hang on, I'm holding it completely wrong. This section here is the raglan part, and it just needs to be grafted there. So that actually becomes kind of part of the body when you put it on. So it's going to take some trying on to sort of figure out exactly how it will fit properly. But yeah, it is starting to take shape as looking like a jumper. But as I said, I find, especially in the evenings when I sit and try and knit on this, I end up with both cats on my lap and they want to knead into it. And so I get a few rows done before they interrupt me. But I have managed to get a reasonable amount of progress done. I did a couple of other slightly crafty things that are not knitting related. I have blocked 2 crochet projects for my sister, a top that she made, and also a baby blanket. So I pinned those out and I just have to check on them now and see if they're dry and get those back to her. And I also made kind of a shawl sort of thing that I'm going to wear for the presentation ball on Friday night. I bought some fabric, quite glittery, sparkly fabric, and I kind of had this idea in my head that it was going to be some kind of shawl stole kind of thing. I was just going to fold it in half and have all of the sparkly side on the outside. And Deb and Sebastian were both like, that is way too much sparkle. You've gone over the top, and it's going to be super heavy because it's kind of a stretchy kind of fabric. It's not like lace or anything like that. So instead I cut part of it and created sort of like a wide kind of piece and folded the edges down, and I did the pinning to make the glitter on one side and the silver on the other side, and I'm going to wear it with the silver side out and the gold just sort of peeking out. So you see the gold like here behind my shoulders, but the rest will be silver with like gold around the outsides. And then my sister sewed it together for me on her sewing machine because I am an absolute novice on a sewing machine. I think the last time I used a sewing machine was in high school, and I managed to sew my dress to the fabric that I was working on. So um, I am not a sewist at all, but she was able to help me with that. So I hope that it's all going to go together in this outfit. I haven't tried it on as a full outfit yet. I've kind of got it in my head what I think might look okay. So I need to kind of probably do a little bit of a trial run before Friday. Doesn't matter. I'll just wear it. No one's going to be taking any notice of me. It's going to all be about the kids and their dances and their big white dresses and the boys in their suits. So if I remember, I'll take some photos and I can share them next week. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.